Welcome to the part 2 of this guide series. This part will be geared more at players who wish to be more competitive at the game and will explain useful methods at improving quickly during the mid-game to help set you up for the late game play. If your intent is to play more casually, the first video is more than sufficient for your needs, and you may even opt to stay out of chaos mode if you wish. At least at launch, out of the 4 available modes, the most difficult mode will be locked behind trios. For this reason, the second section of this video will cover trio play to equip you with everything you need to know to play in that mode. Note that this video will include more theoretical concepts than the previous one, so the background footage will only be loosely connected to the subject being covered. Each point will require some explanation, though I will try to be as concise as I can with each tip. Let's start with the mid-game section of this guide. If you followed the steps from the previous video, you should have some excess gil to be able to start making some starter builds. Number 1. Purchase your first blue kit. At this point in the game, you should have enough gil to purchase your first blue kit and get your tavern close to either level 3 or 4, 4 being the max level. When making your first build, don't just buy the cheapest things. Look at what other good players are using for their affixes. However, I recommend you don't just blindly copy their build one-to-one. A fully min-maxed kit might be very expensive and only marginally better than the one you can get on a budget. Look at which affixes are the most expensive and cover as many points as you can at the tavern. Don't worry too much about getting each affix to max level. Your goal should be to hit the affix thresholds. Why a blue kit and not a purple one? A good purple kit is considerably more expensive than a blue kit. While random purples might not be that much more expensive, you want to prioritize affixes over gear rarity. A good blue kit is going to be better than random purples you throw on. The only exception to this is your weapon, which should be the first thing you upgrade. At this point, you should stop using the grey garbage potions and only bring in the ones from the shop. Always bring in keys and eyeballs and any other tactical item of your choice. I personally recommend the firepot as you can use it to discourage chases, but there are many good choices. Number 2. Practice in arena. This tip alone will dramatically increase your skill level and allow you to win more PvP encounters. Go to the training room in your camp and look for public lobbies with players looking to 1v1, and spam a bunch of fights until you get comfortable at the matchup. I recommend you ask if potions and horns are allowed, as many players like to duel without them. The reason this type of practice is so effective is because in extraction mode you get maybe one failed attempt every 15 to 20 minutes. This is nowhere near enough in order to develop proper muscle memory and learn the matchup. In arena you can spam out over 15 attempts in the same time frame, and often against players that know what they are doing. Learn each matchup, which classes you are weak against and which you are strong against, in what position your class excels and which situations or classes you need to avoid. Once you are more comfortable, go back to extraction mode and you should be able to extract a lot more consistently. I particularly recommend arena at the start of your play session to get you warmed up for extraction mode. Number 3. Watch what other good players do on your class, whether it be live streams or video guides, and incorporate it into your arena practice. Try out different builds and settle on the one you are most comfortable using. Consider switching out skills and talents when you find it difficult to get any value out of them. Continue to iterate until you settle on a build that suits your playstyle. Number 4. Use third party to your advantage. Third party is when another player or team joins the 1v1 or 3v3. From your arena practice, you should be able to get a better grasp on which classes you are weak against and which you are good against. If at any point you run into a fight between other players, focus on the one you are weak against first. For example, if you struggle against a black arrow, take out the black arrow first. Same principle applies if you see someone that is very well geared compared to you. Take them out first, then switch to the other target. Keep in mind that it is very common for melee players to gang up on ranged. If you are playing as a ranged class and see 2 melees fighting, it might be best to avoid the fight and let them spend their horns and resources. Once you beat one person in the third party, do not share loot with the other player. You are not friends and teaming is a bannable offense in this game. Either get out of there if you need to reset or fight. Number 5. Learn high tier loot hotspots and elite locations. They do not appear on the map. As you begin to clear more and more of the map, learning the location of where better loot can spawn will help you earn more gil than just randomly running through the map. This is particularly important for elites and item caches. Note that every elite and item cache spawn location is fixed. It will always be in the same place but may not spawn every single round. Do not neglect side tasks and gold chests you spawn next to. Those should still be your main focus as they have the highest chance of dropping better items. This covers the mid-game section of this guide. Continue to progress through the game and keep practicing. When you get more comfortable with PvP and acquire better gear, you may wish to start looking at riskier paths through the map and start attempting the bosses. Note that if you attempt the bosses, other players cannot enter the boss room once you start the boss. However, they can wait for you to finish it and wait for you outside. During your first attempts, you are likely to use some of your horns at the boss, which will leave you more vulnerable to PvP. Look out for boss guides or streamers who attempt them. A detailed boss guide is beyond the scope of this video. Next, I will cover trio play and how to best approach the mode. Note that the loot in trios is often considerably worse than in solos, as you have to share loot from elite, item caches and regular enemies. Only gold chest side missions, mini-bosses and bosses offer more rewards. Even then, if you have 2 other people to play with, I highly recommend this mode for its strategic depth. Number 1. Start trios in the normal difficulty. If you have never played trios before, then I highly recommend you start on the first map in cheap gear, ideally after you hit level 12. Your focus should be to get to know what works and what doesn't. Learn your team's synergy. Playing trios is nothing like playing solos. Individual skill matters somewhat less, and good decision making takes the front seat. Number 2. Good communication is key. This is by far the most important element of trios. You will need to learn how to not just give comms, but give good comms. Most importantly, comms need to be short and clear. Do not flood the comms with complaints or pointless yapping. If what you're about to say is not important information to win out the fight, save it for after the fight. Good comms include calling out who you are attacking or intending to attack, when an enemy gets low, when you need to back out, when you go down, and when you want your team to push. If you are in the middle of the fight already, make sure to repeat important comms twice in a clear voice. Avoid giving confusing or imprecise comms like attack this guy, and use shorthand terms that everyone understands. For example, you can say attack the rogue instead of attack the shadow strikes. Avoid using player names unless you decide on it ahead of time to avoid confusion during the fight. Number 3. Learn their classes before the fight. Before you engage, try to learn what classes they are playing and decide your plan ahead of time. Which person you are going to focus. Are you going to kite backwards, poke, full engage, or rotate to a better position? Making a decision in the middle of the fight is significantly harder. Listen out for any other teams before you engage. Number 4. Focus fire the same person. When engaging, everyone should try to attack the same person at the same time. Splitting the damage across multiple targets will make the fight last longer, making it more messy, increasing the amount of resources you have to consume, and drastically increases the risk of getting third-partied. Your main target focus should be on the damage dealers. Leave any support or front-line classes for last if possible. Number 5. Do not execute in the middle of the fight. While executing allows you to recover consumed horn charges until you know the fight is over or your teammates are safe, do not execute the enemy. Leave them. Execute start a long animation during which time one of your allies could go down. If you really need horns, down 2 of them first before executing, and communicate your intent to your team. Number 6. Do not chase a player alone. Stick with your team and focus on whatever enemies remain first. By chasing, you open yourself up to the possibility of getting 1v1 or your team getting attacked by a third party in your absence. Worst case scenario, you end up in a 1v1 and lose, and your team is now permanently down a member, as you are very likely to be immediately executed. Number 7. If you hear another team, disengage. Use doors and keys to your advantage to create space between you and the other team. Climb ladders to discourage the chase. Spend all of your dodges, throw fire pots behind you, and use any kiting cooldowns to get out and discourage the chase. After you disengage, do not stay still. Rotate around the map and keep the enemy teams guessing as to what your current position is. At all costs, avoid the scenario of being sandwiched between the 2 teams. Move together and do not separate. If you see 2 teams fighting, engage but do not overcommit. Number 8. Play with the same team. Trio mode heavily rewards squad cohesion. If you can, try to play with the same set of people as much as you can. That way you can iterate on your gameplay and develop confidence and trust to commit to a play in a fight. When playing with randoms, bad comms are very common, and player expectations and skill level can be vastly different. This tip alone is going to put you above the average team that you will face. Number 9. Watch trio gameplay. See how players of your class play in a 3-man scenario, what skills and talents they take that are different from solo play, how they move during the fight. It's common for skills and classes that see little play in solos shine in trios. Notably, Reverend Seer and the new Wyvern Knight will really shine in a trio role. Number 10. Record your gameplay. Record and watch your gameplay back together with your team. See what kind of mistakes you made that cost you the fight. You don't focus on individual mistakes like misses and misplays. Focus on your decision making and communication above all. You can always improve your individual skill at any time in arenas, and you will naturally get better as you play. Decision making is something you need to put conscious effort in order to improve. This is why it is so important for you to play with the same team, or at least with the same set of people. Without it, you cannot properly iterate on your gameplay. This concludes all the trio tips and this guide. After following it, you should know everything you need to know to keep improving. Beyond that, it is up to you to set your own goals. Whether it be being one of the best solo players, squads, doing bosses, or trying to discover unique new builds and strategies. Thank you for watching, and God bless.